This is an exhibition called Divergent Processes, and it's the work of our Diploma of Fine Arts graduating students. So there's 6 students on show here, and it's quite an exciting exhibition, and it's on until June 23rd, Friday, June 23rd. And it's exciting because it's the first year we have so many people doing installation art. And so all the artists installed their own work. Often we'll have a curatorial team, but they all installed their own work and negotiated the space amongst themselves. So it's a very interesting process. So I'll just say a little bit about each of the artists. So this is Jane Coombe. And she's doing installation related to the color blue, but also it comes from the tradition of early abstractionists and constructivist artists who relied on geometry for their subject matter. So she's been exploring both 3-dimensional forms and 2-dimensional forms. And then this is Karima Herrera, who's doing. This is it was a wall mural. It was a flat mural, but we decided to make it into what we call a Toblerone shape, because it's the shape of the Toblerone bar. And just because if it was flat, it just didn't seem as active. So these are, in the mural, there's tracings of her classmates, and they each have a different animal head because they picked the animal. So she did this in a painting class with the idea of using foil instead of paint. So it's quite exciting to walk around it. And it fits in the space nicely as it starts reflecting different parts of the space. And then we have June Higgins, who's doing work that involves researching architectural patterns and forms, and she traces them and layers them on one another to create a kind of ambiguous space, a space that seems both flat but also has architectural or landscape elements in it. And this is the work of Jim Mulchinuk, and he collects beach sticks. He prefers them to be called beach sticks as opposed to driftwood, because he doesn't really want it to have that association. But he collects them and then orders them in a particular way through size and colors them. And in this case, he painted the wall to kind of give a sense of framing the piece. That the piece, he wanted the effect of the piece against the wall. So the black is actual plywood that he's added, and then painted the radiator so it really feels like it's part of the form. And this is Chantal Parent, and she has 2 areas. So these are objects that she found, and she covered them in part with velvet, really kind of playing around with the idea of precious and throwaway. So she's arranged this setting as if it might be like a vanity or in a bedroom, and these might be objects that could be used. And then this is the work of Kim Leslie, and she's working with the idea of women who, like older women who get abandoned or become invisible at a certain age. And so she's used this sort of metaphor of falling apart architecture, and she's created layers to create a kind of invisible surface, or layers of gauze. And then she took this to a kind of metaphoric level where these are columns made of dental floss, and they stand in for the architecture, and then the bags also made of gauze stand in for the presence of the women. And then this is another piece by James, who did the beach stick piece. And these are made with coat hangers, and he talks about it being a similar process of needlepoint going in and out, and he used hundreds of hangers. And again, the idea is to create something that, on the one hand, it looks quite fragile, But if you've ever like handled a coat hanger, you know, like this is really rough and hard work to do. So it's like the opposite of delicate. And then it's nice how he's removed it from the wall so you can see the shadow. And then the last piece in the gallery this is an installation by Chantal Parent, who did the velvet and rust pieces. It actually started off as a regular painting on canvas, but then it kept getting deconstructed. These sculptures were inspired by the painting, but then she took the painting apart, and then the painting became inspired by the sculptures. So it's quite a diverse range of work, and there's some work out in the hallway